is Access Hollywood for Monday, September 30th. Tonight.
I think people will talk about it over coffee after the movie's over.
Grab your latte. The First Wives Club hits the Goldie mine twice. Plus.
What is this thing? You know, breast. They start out, you know, you're flat as a board, and then suddenly, boom.
Whoopi Goldberg. Unpredictable. Unedited. And your oh-so-rough mission, should you choose to accept it. Help Daisy Fuentes put together her new calendar.
It looks like I was naked, but I wasn't. Don't tell anybody.
Welcome to Stage 5, where access is everything.
Hi, I'm Larry Menti.
And I'm Giselle Fernandez. Hope you had a good weekend. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Rocker Tommy Lee and his wife Pamela Anderson Lee are back at work today after being accused of slamming a photographer to the ground outside a nightclub over the weekend. It's another case of the paparazzi Star Wars. Lee joins the ranks of Alec Baldwin, Sean Penn, and Robert De Niro, just a few top stars notorious for swinging back at an overzealous press corps. They're the paparazzi, their target, the stars. It was this Sunday morning Tommy Lee and his wife Pamela Lee were leaving the Viper Room. Paparazzi were waiting. There was a fight, and a photographer claims Tommy Lee assaulted him, breaking his pelvis. E.L. Woody of Paparazzi TV says the assault was unprovoked.
Yes, it is getting out of control, especially the Tommy Lee incident, the latest Tommy Lee incident. It's totally out of control.
Paparazzi TV.
The paparazzi and Tommy Lee have a history of feuds. Overzealous photographers even captured him on tape fighting with police outside the House of Blues.
You stop the lights, the front.
E.L. Woody is king of the paparazzi. He and his hardy band of photographers hunt the streets in search of their celebrity prey.
Thanks. I have people all up and down the street that call me, parking guys, people who work the streets, bartenders.
Is this your baby, Dennis?
Woody's troops are everywhere, in the airport with Dennis Rodman and his baby.
Dennis, come on, is it true you're going to be marrying Madonna?
On the beach with Richard Gere.
Thank you, Madonna.
And on the streets with Madonna.
I know you hate us.
And hate they do. Countless celebrities had their own run-ins with the paparazzi.
What happened? I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
Woody thinks it's the celebrities that have gone too far. He thinks it's time something was done about it.
As you know, in this town, a celebrity can get away with murder.
Don't be holding me. Don't be grabbing me.
Why can't I grab you, man?
Don't be grabbing me.
But Hollywood is fed up and says paparazzi are out of control.
I think there should be a kind of civilized limit. I think it's all a bit out of control now.
And when people cross that line, they'll get what they deserve.
Pulling no punches. The term paparazzi, by the way, has taken on new meaning over the years. It originally comes from a character in the 1960 Federico Fellini movie La Dolce Vita, but it's also an Italian word for buzzing insect.
Wow, that's perfect.
Appropriate.
I thought it was Italian for litigant. That's what I thought. It started out as the ultimate Hollywood coup, snagging Goldie, Bette, and Diane to star in one big budget film. Now, with Hugh Grant and Gene Hackman at their high heels, the First Wives Club is making history with its incredible ticket sales and continued status as box office queens.
I think people will talk about it.
Audiences are talking and they are buying. The First Wives Club dominates the box office, taking in an estimated $15.5 million in alimony this weekend.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
There are no car chases or special effects, but this film of revenge and female empowerment is making such an impact that its 3 veteran actresses have landed this week's cover of Time magazine.
I think a woman has to understand all she really has to control is herself. And when she learns that, then she'll be better off.
You don't own me.
Other films this weekend couldn't even come close. Extreme Measures with Hugh Grant and Gene Hackman did $7.1 million, and Bruce Willis's Last Man Standing pulled in $4.1 million. It looks like the First Wives Club may continue to reign as box office queens for some time.
Happy days. The femme fatales. Another powerful woman is also making news in Hollywood, Whoopi Goldberg. Just like Brett Butler and Ellen DeGeneres, she's hoping to make a bestseller out of her off-the-wall observations on life. Over the weekend, Goldberg gave us a sneak peek, and it's pure Whoopi.
There's just observations for me, you know, just strange observations.
Although she hasn't written it yet, Whoopi did give Access a preview of the material in her upcoming book.
What is this thing? You know, breasts. They start out, you know, you're flat as a board, and then suddenly, boom, you know, there you are. And you want to show them, but you shouldn't show them. Then they fall, and you're mad.
Whoopi, who penned the book deal in July for a reported $6 million, promises the publication will tackle some of Hollywood's toughest questions.
What happens to the excess skin that people snip off when they have, you know, plastic surgery? Does it go, like, to a skin bank, you know, for grafting? What happens to it?
That's the question. Whoopi's collection of life's lessons will be published next fall. No word yet on the title. If you can't wait that long for your Whoopi fix, her movie The Associate opens October 25th. Don't miss it.
Okay, so you got your Whoopi fix. Are you ready for your Shaq attack now? Shaquille O'Neal was everywhere this weekend, and why not for a guy whose personal motto is, "The world is mine." At Nickelodeon's third annual Help-a-thon, Shaquille O'Neal was easily the biggest kid, making the biggest splash. Stars from sports, TV, movies, and music came to encourage kids of all ages to pledge their time volunteering in their communities back home.
I thought that this was a chance for kids to be responsible and at the same time know and see that people that they look up to and admire are responsible too and care as well.
We just come out to maybe attract a little attention. So if they're flipping through the channels on a Sunday afternoon and they see Shaquille O'Neal or LL Cool J, they'll stop and say, hey, what's that? And then they'll find out the cause and hopefully, you know, pledge 5, 10, 15 hours.
But when it comes to making a splash, the Shaq attack is just getting started. Next up for this NBA star, movie star, rap star, his own record label.
One friend of me, it's all the same thing. You go to the park to play ball, but on the way home, you listen to your favorite rap artist.
Shaq wants a record label. Shaq's got a record label.
Hey, Shaq's a prince. See, who deserves one more? Prince has one. Why not a real prince?
My name ain't Shaq no more. Call me Superman Emblem. March get set.
Stay tuned. You must see what big changes are going down on the set of Suddenly Susan. Plus,
You can see my butt.
Daisy Fuentes' sexy new calendar.
I turned into Beavis and Butthead for a minute there, sorry.
We don't think so, but even Beavis and Butthead couldn't help but love this. That's coming up on Access Hollywood.
Access Hollywood is brought to you by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We are driving excitement.
When my grandfather surfed the Bonsai Pipeline, narrow boards ruled. Eventually, Gramps had a stroke of genius. A wider board for better control. He said, wider is better.
Introducing the new Wide Track Grand Prix. Its wheels are set wide to hold the road for more control when you're shooting the curves.
It's true.
The new Wide Track Grand Prix from Pontiac. Wider is better.
Indian Summer, the new perfume by Priscilla Presley.
Indian Summer, the summer of you.
New by Priscilla Presley.
Hey, what do you think, guys? Do these boots say assistant state's attorney or, you know, dancing in a cage?
You know, since the last election, I've been back in all 95 counties, talking to folks, listening. People sure don't mind telling you what's on their mind, I can tell you that. And you learn an awful lot. You know, the combined tax burden on the American family is higher than it's ever been in the history of our country. If two parents are working, one of them's working for the government. I just don't think that's right.
A feeling of home. That's how I would describe Nashville. I may have met someone for the very first time, but after a few minutes, I feel like I've known them for years. That's why when I deliver the news, I make it my goal to give news that's informative and hits home, our home. It may be the latest advances in my medical breakthrough segment or a fresh perspective on the day's top story.
Amy Marsalis, only on News Channel 5.
All right, how many times have you said to yourself as a kid or even as an adult, I wish I could change my parents? Well, in the world of television, sometimes that actually happens. Even when you have the #2 rated show on TV. So suddenly it's so long to Brooke Shields' TV parents.
It's not enough, Mom.
No, I suppose it's not. It's just that I love you so much.
That may be, but Carolyn McWilliams and Kurt Fuller, who played Brooke's parents in the pilot episode, are now the latest victims of the parent trap.
You have disrupted the library.
Replacing McWilliams is Swoosie Kurtz, who will do double duty when Fox's Party Girl returns in January.
We're talking about the rest of my life.
Don't panic. The recasting isn't bad news. Suddenly Susan is the highest-rated new show on television, and that's something to sing about.
Amen. Hallelujah.
She's so great. Under Suspicion's Ray Baker replaces Kurt Fuller as Brooke's dad, and you can check out Brooke's new parents on October 31st. Suddenly Susan airs Thursdays on NBC.
Domestic goddess Roseanne has proved her stand-up act could stand up on TV. In fact, it's done much more than that. The huge success of Roseanne is still paving the sitcom way for real-life moms to make comedy out of their lives. Like comedian Lisa Ann Walter, who says playing an overworked mom on TV is a snap compared to what she goes through at home.
Is not.
It's so.
You want a piece of me, little man?
Lisa Ann Walter is proving that raising kids and having a legal career is a life's work, and a new sitcom on ABC.
You know, I want to see a strong female-driven show where the extra element is there's a career that she actually cares about.
In the show, Walter is Baltimore's newest assistant state attorney.
Say, I didn't have to catch where you went to law school. Oh, Baltimore City College.
She's also trying to be a mother of 2 and a wife. She's finding there isn't room for everything.
Lisa, keys, keys, keys.
I'm on the phone!
For Lisa, real life isn't much different. She's busy raising 2 children of her own.
Every minute you're going, okay, and I have to handle that, and this is going in.
Access spent the day with Lisa and her kids at home and found out that it isn't easy being a Hollywood mom. Just try doing an interview.
All right, now, look, if we're going to have a fight, we're never going to get a question answered. Never. I'm under siege here!
Despite the distractions, the show and parenthood must go on. And Lisa is proving that although it's difficult, you can do both. Just remember one thing.
Don't do interviews with your children in the room.
Good tip. Lisa told us when ABC made the official announcement that her show would get the plum spot following Roseanne, she had an anxiety attack. Michael J. Fox, who was with her at the time, had to ask her if she was going to be ill. It was that bad. She's doing fine now. Life's Work airs Tuesday on ABC.
Stay tuned. Access Hollywood presents calendar girl Daisy Fuentes. That's all 12 months of her for your very own viewing pleasure.
No, actually, really, it doesn't, you know, once the calendar's in your hands, I don't really care what you do with it, really, honestly.
That's coming up.
Expressions of love, cuddling, tickling, frosting. Betty Crocker rich and creamy frosting. When you love someone, spread it on thick. With Betty Crocker, life is sweet.
A world of imagination is opening up before you. It's the ultimate in digital movies and entertainment. And it's only on U.S. satellite broadcasting. You can see everything from here.
Continental Airlines, the highest-ranked airline for flights 500 miles and more in the 1996 frequent flyer J.D. Power & Associates study.
Tuesday on Talk of the Town, he's the reigning CMA Male Vocalist of the Year. Vince Gill will join us as we count down to the CMA Award Show coming up Wednesday night. Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be great. You're going to be glad you're here, too, because we have a Cajun recipe for you, Joe. A real stick-to-your-ribs recipe for crispy fried catfish and white beans.
Catfish? From one gill to another, huh?
Uh-oh.
Oh. Plus, we'll have a quick draw demonstration as well.
Don't you wish your foundation stayed more on your face and less on your clothes? So do I. I'm Dan Streetpeck. I'm a motion picture makeup artist. I've seen a lot of foundations come and a lot of foundations go. But Max Factor's new Lasting Performance has a touch-proof system that sets to a smooth finish. With Lasting Performance, you can change clothes, you can hug someone without having to retouch your makeup. It's virtually smudge-proof. And I've seen the proof.
Max Factor's new Lasting Performance Stay Put Foundation. Makeup that performs.
Hi. Hi. Doesn't it make you feel better knowing that Columbia is more than just a hospital? Sure. That they have so many ways of making you healthy. You know, like making it easier to get your blood pressure or cholesterol checked. It's okay. Nobody's judging you.
For the nearest Columbia facility, call 1-800-COLUMBIA.
When the alarm goes off,
and I wake up and go about my day.
I don't even think about my feet.
During one part of my day,
I think seriously about my feet.
I remember the selection at Just for Feet.
Nike Air Max, Asics GT 2010.
Nike Air Max Tailwind.
Adidas Response Trail.
Saucony 3D Good Hurricane.
All at Just for Feet.
For anybody serious about running.
Serious about their feet.
So in that one moment.
When it all comes together.
And once again.
You don't even think about your feet. Find the newest, hottest styles for running. This week at Just for Feet, where your 13th pair is...
Daisy Fuentes is in full bloom with a new calendar, a new movie, plenty of modeling gigs, and her regular VJ job on MTV. Our Jeff Probst's job is to find out what's driving Miss Daisy.
A bikini and the beaches of St. Bart's would mean vacation time for most women, but for Daisy Fuentes, it's just another day at the office as she works on her second swimsuit calendar.
Very nice.
And Daisy's been anything but lazy these days. She's still got her day jobs, hosting on MTV and modeling for Revlon, but we were able to sit her down for a first peek at her upcoming calendar.
And we're getting a rare glimpse here to see this is not even finished yet.
No, this is the first rough draft of it. This is, you can see the color's a little bit off. This is going to be gold.
Is it a weird feeling when you look at a calendar like this? Do you see yourself or do you see this alter ego now?
It's very strange. It's a little bit weird to do it and also to look at it and to choose the pictures. I had the hardest time. My head is a bit on my leg. Dude, are you close enough on me? Huh? All right. But I gotta take a break. You guys decide. You pick them out.
This one right here.
Really?
Yeah. May. Because of the colors. It's really a nice outfit, yeah. And we picked up on that.
For final approval, we took the calendar to the toughest critics of them all, Daisy's MTV crew.
We're looking for favorite months.
Nice. I like the cover
already. Cover wins.
This is so embarrassing. I'm watching people gawking at it in front of my face.
Let me see this calendar.
See, this is what I like, a female opinion on a sexy calendar.
I like
because they tell you the truth.
Oh, that's cute.
Okay, it's a different
Daisy,
look.
these are excellent.
You like them?
Yes, this is great.
I would love to sit here and say, oh, yes, well, you know, it's a very artistic calendar. And only, you know, this one is different because everybody has one, and they're all basically the same. It's just that this one's mine, and I'd really appreciate it if you buy it.
Daisy also has a new movie out called Curdled, by the way, and she tells us she made a lasting impression on co-star Billy Baldwin because she ran over his foot with a car while filming a scene. Daisy's calendar, by the way, hits the stores in mid-October. I know you're going to rush out and get one.
I am. I'm going to support my Latina sister there. Wish her all the best. She looks great. Okay, you remember the band, the New Kids on the Block, right? Well, for years, they were mobbed by screaming teenage girls every time they went out in public. They were so popular that they sold over 60 million albums. That was until they took a break. But now Donnie Wahlberg, the front man for the New Kids on the Block, is hoping to get back into the spotlight. In 1991, these 5 kids from Boston were making more money than Michael Jackson and Madonna. But by 1994, Donnie Wahlberg and the boys were ready to get off the block.
And I don't necessarily miss all of that stuff, you know what I mean? I mean, it was fun, and I enjoyed myself, and, you know, touring and all that stuff was a wonderful experience, but, you know, I don't know if I want to be a huge superstar.
Action! He may not crave stardom, but Donnie does want to act like his little brother Mark, who's making his 4th film, Traveler, opposite Bill Paxton and Juliana Margulies.
I'm not really a one-dimensional person.
You know, I've always been, you know, a number of characters.
What, you think that's going to make things easier or harder?
Make what easier, Maris?
But that's Donnie, not Mark next to Mel Gibson, making his acting debut in Ransom. Not a bad way to start a new career.
Sean?
I want to listen.
If I don't get my son back, I ain't gonna dedicate my life to tracking you down.
I walked out into Central Park one day. We were shooting in Central Park, and there was 1,000 people around watching, and they all started screaming. And, you know, I jumped, and I said, oh, man, you know, because that's what I've been used to for so many years with New Kids. And I looked at all the people, and they were saying, Mel, Mel. And I was like, whew, thank you, Jesus.
Mitch McConnell voted to drastically cut the Medicare program.
Another negative attack from Steve Beshear. Wrong again. Mitch McConnell voted yes to increase Medicare funding to $1.5 trillion. That's $2,000 more for each beneficiary. Meanwhile, Beshear supports higher taxes targeted against Social Security recipients. They can't afford the Social Security tax Beshear endorses. But to a rich lawyer, lobbyist, politician like Steve Beshear, it's just peanuts.
A special viewer advisory. Don't play with knives, guns, or swords.
Impressive.
Unless
Those Musketeers.
you're the Three Musketeers. Batman Forever's Chris O'Donnell.
Long live the Musketeers!
Kiefer Sutherland.
Save the king!
And Charlie Sheen.
You're married?
In the world broadcast premiere of The Three Musketeers on the Fox Tuesday night movie.
Coming up on Fox 40, being in love isn't always easy, but it sure is fun. Join Paul and Jamie as they try to work it through on Mad About You. It's a super season on Fox 40 WKNT.
Nice job! Just a second. You got the wrong guy. Boy, you're tall. Can I get you a beer? It's Sam Adams.
There are times when only a perfect glass of beer will do.
That's a good one, Grim.
Sam Adams, a better glass of beer.
What if you could take on a whole new image? Would you be more elegant? More dynamic? More comfortable? What if you could make these changes and still hold on to what's inside? Introducing the new Q45 from Infiniti. One of the world's best performing luxury cars has an almost entirely new identity.
Iberian tiger is the largest of all wild cats.
We've got the target in sight. Engines at 3 o'clock.
12 feet long from its head to the tip of its... are found in rainforests, hot dry wood.
For over 40 years, H.H. Gregg and the RCA brand have worked together to bring you the best products, the best price, and the most fun.
Aaron, get us out of here!
After all, fun is what it's all about.
Okie dokie. Here's the album once again, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, the film soundtrack from She's the One. My thanks also to Gillian Anderson and Ricky Lake. Tomorrow, Tom Hanks, Gina Gershon, Riverdance, and Hasta Mañana. Tom Snyder is next. Good night, everybody. Thank you very much.
Dear Sweet Pants.
Say hello to Jonathan Shack, the newest Hollywood heartthrob.
It's just a thing that I do.
Yeah, and that thing that he does is making women go wild. Hard Copy introduces you to the man who's leaving his fans check-shocked. Plus, looking for something to wear? Turn to the junkyard for inspiration.
Reuse it and wear it.
From license plates to fashion plates, we'll show you the very latest in trashy trends on Hard Copy.
Tomorrow at 5 on News Channel 5.
This week at Just for Feet, get the lowest New Balance prices of the year. Men's and women's $9.99s that were up to $124.95 are now as low as $69.99. Men's $5.85s and ladies $6.85s that were up to $94.95 are now as low as $59.99. Men's CT $6.85s and ladies $5.20s that were up to $69.95 are now only $39.99. Plus New Balance shoes for kids now only $19.99. American made for high and low arches and widths from 4E to 2A. Prices will never be this low again. At Just for Feet, where your 13th pair is free.